Hi guys, thanks for sticking with us with our alternative sports bike of the year shorts. Just a quick check-in before we crack on, just to say thanks very much for watching all the videos or the episodes on Bike World, which they did a terrific job, and thanks to everyone who went and bought the magazine. Without that, none of this can happen, really, and we don't get to eat. But anyway, just a reminder, this is the alternative sports bike of the year is basically what me and Gary had most fun on. So it's not a magazine testing thing, that's an entirely different kettle of fish when you start throwing testing parameters, when you're trying to find the best bike dynamically. And anyone who's read the magazine or watched the shows will know what those are. Anyway, it was quite a nice little journey actually, because some bikes that started off a bit meh actually ended up being a huge amount of fun. One in particular, even though it's got a pretty dodgy throttle, the fork springs sit at the top of the travel a bit too much mid-corner, the anti-wheelie can't be separated from the traction control, it's not as powerful as everything else, and it has a really irritating habit of slipping into a neutral whenever it feels like it. But, that was still fun. But anyway, look, thanks very much. Sorry for, there's a bit of wind noise in this video, which I apologise for. We're going to try and put some subtitles in or something. But thanks very much, and keep buying the mag, and we'll keep giving you the best stuff we possibly can, and roll on Sports Bike of the Year 2018. Right, we're all done. We've just packed the truck, which is there. It's all ready to go, and we're done in about 2 days, and the winner's been decided, which you can find out in the next issue of the magazine. Me and Gary here. Obviously, we've been doing our personal favourites, the ones that kind of we enjoyed the most, even if they've got some kind of foibles and whatnot. So, Gary, what was your number 3 bike?
My number 3 bike, which probably would be quite surprising, and it surprised me, would be the Fireblade.
Okay.
I think it was, after all the negative press that I've seen on it, it wasn't that bad at all. It was actually quite a good motorcycle. It's typical Honda, great chassis, handles well, goes around corners well. You can ride it slightly underpowered compared to the others, so you can actually ride it harder. Yeah. Or it feels like you can ride it harder. Let's put it that way. Yeah. So just like I say, just a typical Honda, just does everything well. The throttle wasn't that bad. I didn't like reports that it's snatching. It's one of those. I think that the harder you ride it, the better it becomes. You sort of want more balanced throttles as you go quicker through the corners. It's not so bad. So that would be my number 3.
Okay. Well, this is slightly embarrassing because my number 3 is also the Fireblade.
Try and enjoy.
Well, I rode it on the road and I thought, yeah, it's nice, but just didn't grab me.
Not like the others.
Not even like the old Fireblade.
Right. Well, you never know.
Be nice to be surprised, wouldn't it?
You did that on purpose, didn't you?
Yeah.
Go on then.
Well, the anti-wheelie needs to fuck off and die. It starts to work really well as you go over the rises, and then you think, oh, this is actually not too bad, and then just goes.
Because it's so undulating here, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but that doesn't matter because other bikes can do it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like at other tracks where there's not as much undulation, you might not that might not come to the fore, and you might not really notice it.
Basically, yeah. I mean, I will say I actually enjoyed that, and the reason is because we need to take the hero bombs off, and the suspension, to me, carrying a bit, the suspension is alright. The reason I just enjoyed this so much was because it felt like a 750 compared to the others. Right. So it felt like I could absolutely rinse this everywhere. Yeah. So that's kind of good.
Yeah, it's good that you can get the max out of it, but
it's it's not. It is a bit disappointing. In some ways, but the problem is you can't turn the anti-wheelie. I don't think you can turn the anti-wheelie off without turning the traction control off. But it's still got enough power that really, you've got traction control on the lowest setting, and it's actually the traction control is working quite well. So it's letting it do that. Yeah, which is what you want, great. But what you want is to be able to do the option to turn the anti-wheelie off. Now, I might be wrong. I have to ask Bruce. Bruce did the launch of this, so he might have more. But I think Alistair said it don't work. Yeah. So.
Which will be a shame, which will kind of hinder it in
the overall. It is a shame because it's it's a lovely bike, and again maybe it's because I'm limbering myself into it a bit more, but I did enjoy that. Yeah. But I twigged early on that it's not having to watch
the power, because these bikes have all got good enough electronics that allow you to use the power, all of it, without spinning and even without intervention. They literally just, most of the time, like on the Aprilia, it's working, you don't even realise it. Or at least on the last Aprilia. Enjoyed, had fun.
Good.
But otherwise, don't get me wrong, again, I really enjoyed my time on that 5-blade just then, because you can rinse it, it's like an 800. So it's not super quick. But its foibles are obvious. And it's I don't know about you, but even at the end of day one, I don't think it's as good as at least 4 bikes here.
Nowhere near.
Nowhere near. See? Nowhere near, sorry Honda. I do like it though, I mean, on a personal note, I'm starting to like it a lot more. Spend some more time on her tomorrow, see how we go.
Okay.
Now, it actually tried to kill me in a worse fashion than the Ducati did, because it's got this really bad habit of jumping out of gear. Me, Al and everyone. And I was accelerating out of turn 1 when it went to neutral, and only because I stuck my knee in the ground and then kind of... But what I liked about it here, which I might not like at somewhere like Silverstone, what I liked about it here was you could use all of it, you had to rag it, it was like an 800. You know, again, I'm not blind, it's not as good as the 3 or 4 bikes ahead of it, but I liked it.
I liked it, yeah, but it wasn't...
What's your second best bike?
Second best bike, RSV4. Sorry, 4. But it's hard to say because we're just dialing ourselves in, aren't we? It's like just finding a way around again.
Yeah.
That Suzuki felt really soft to me.
Did it?
Yeah.
But we'll get tweaking stuff then, because I think it's that stage where when everyone's had a run around on a bike and it's like, well, let's start tweaking away, really. Yeah.
It's such a different thing to that Panigale.
Is it?
Oh, it's just like night and day, mate. In my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I always found the Ducati just a handful. Like
It
it's
is a handful.
Yeah, it is.
This is easy to. It's like I said to you last night. You know, it might not be the fastest of the super bikes, but it's a super bike you ride the fastest.
Yeah.
And it's at my level of ability. You know, around the 2-minute laps.
Yeah.
This is a much better bike to ride than the Ducati.
Yeah. No.
By a country mile.
Yeah. I'm of the same opinion. It's just a good bike, isn't it? Really. Yeah. And that's why it's kind of stayed up the top for so long, really.
But there's nothing. You know, it's not. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just good everywhere, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
There's no bad area to it.
No.
Anywhere.
Maybe the key fob could be a bit jazzier.
Yeah, other than the key. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit boring, that, isn't it?
It is. Yeah.
Could
Just spin it, mate.
Yeah, could restyle that a bit, I suppose. Other than that, isn't that right?
It's a Piaggio key, isn't it?
It's a moped. It's off the scooter.
It's a moped thing.
What a piece of engineering.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's just interesting at World this year, like why it's not been making the grade.
Yeah, but you're talking finite differences there, aren't you?
Yeah.
And if it's not quite right, it's not going to be on the pace, is it? You're against it with the world's best riders.
Yeah.
From, you know, like I say, my level, they're like, what, 15, 20 seconds like fast, whatever it is around here, aren't they, on the world superbikes?
Yeah.
That's a different bike, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's so easy. They look the same, but there's a hell of a difference.
Yeah.
Isn't there?
It's a completely different bike, isn't it?
They haven't got that key fob.
No. They've got a much more well-designed
No moped fob.
Usual reasons. It's good, it handles, it works. It hasn't really got anything that stops it being a good bike. It's just a good all-round bike. It fits, being a big lad, ergonomically it's good. But there's just one that's, for me, just pips it.
Okay. Well, for me, my second favourite bike here, you're not going to be surprised by this, but it was the Panigale, the 1299S.
Okay.
I mean, I did probably 70 laps on it. I mean, I must have lapped a lot on it, and it just got better and better. But I like the fact it's an event. I like the fact it wants to do me over. I like the fact it's just angry and it just wants to kick and buck. And for me, I'd kind of get off it. I'd be slightly scared. I'd be really exhilarated. I'd feel like I've broken a lap record, even though I'm nowhere near it.
Yeah.
You know, and so for me, that's what, you know, is nowhere near the rest here.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean, in that kind of regard. But it's, I just, you know, we're not going to give away the winners or the top 3 here.
Absolutely not. This is ours.
This is ours. So there's my 5-blade was my third. Panigale was my second.
Yeah.
What's your first?
My winner, tough call, because there's 2, R1M, new J6 R1000R.
Yeah.
J6 R1000R engine, blindingly torquey. Great bike, almost to the point where you jump on it, where you sort of, having ridden all the other thousands, you almost have to recalibrate yourself because it's got that much torque, and you're going through some parts where you accelerate hard, maybe, I don't know, 7 or 8 miles an hour faster than you, it feels that. It feels like, oh God, I'm going in here a bit fast. Even though you've done 200 laps, all of a sudden you had to recalibrate yourself. And then there was the R1M, but it's my personal favourite, so that's my number one.
I thought it might be. You love the R1, don't you?
I love the R1. You know, I was lucky enough to ride one down here 2 years ago from the UK, spent a lot of time on it, and it just ticks all the boxes for me.
Yeah, I mean, I like the R1. I do, always liked it. The GX was awesome, and that's actually my long-term bike, and I'm going to spend the rest of the year learning to fall in love with it and all the rest of it. But my personal favourite is the Aprilia. Oh, it's just, you know, it's like I missed SportsBike of the Year last year, and I got on it, and within 2 laps I was riding as hard as I would have done on the. It's just
easy to ride, isn't it?
It's easy to ride. The sound is beautiful. The electronics, and so So there we go, guys. There's our personal.
Top 3 for us.
Our personal top 3 for each. Again, this isn't a work thing. You know, trust me, when we're actually testing bikes from a working perspective, it's quite very different from what a personal perspective is.
Yeah, we've both ridden all the bikes for many laps, and it's
and that's it.
It's quite comprehensive, and it gives you a good idea, especially if you keep back to back to back, and then you also, if you're not quite sure on a couple, you can back to back it again. And that's the good thing. You go, let's just go and try that one again.
That's the trick.
And then let's just go and try this one again. And that's the beauty of it.
Because anyone can go ride a bike from a dealer, do a demo, and you go, that's amazing, or that's crap. It's only when you get to go boom, and you really see the differences. We're lucky like that. Let's be honest. We're very lucky. There we go. So next year, I think we're going to come back to Portimao, maybe. Because, well, you can't really get many better places, can you?
But it'll be interesting to see what comes out for 2018.
New V4 Ducati.
Exactly.
And let's be honest, Gigi Delign's there, and what did he make?
The RSV4.
The RSV4.
So it's probably going to be similar to that, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be a bad bike, is it?
No, it's going to be amazing. So there we go.
There we go.
It can't possibly be more difficult than the Panigale.
No, it can't. No.
Right then. Bye, guys. We'll see you next year.
See you later.